My name's Hayden Prowse, and this is my attempt to prove just how easy it is to convince people of conspiracy theories by making up one of my own. I created a fake conspiracy theory that a mobile phone network engineer had found the letters COV-19 etched into a piece of 5G tower circuitry.
There's a piece of 5G kit and it says COV-19 on it. Why the f*** are they putting circuitry like that in towers like that?
But just how crazy could I make my evidence?
Cooked right through, it's even hot right in the middle. This is battlefield technology specifically designed to target and cook enemy lasagnas.
And just how viral would it go when I posted it online? Turns out, Corona bat crazy viral, making Twitter world news and spreading right across the planet and accumulating around 1 million views.
The latest example is this video from the UK, where a man in high-vis claims to be erecting 5G towers.
There's a piece of 5G kit.
And was even shared by some of Trump's biggest supporters. Why would I want to add to the tsunami of fake news? Because every other attempt to debunk it has failed. Let me explain. As coronavirus infects millions of people across the planet, conspiracy theorists are infecting the minds of many millions more. All of us know at least one dangerously misinformed friend, uncle, or nuclear-armed leader of the free world who regularly comes out with some bonkers shit.
Then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute. 1 minute, and is there a way we can do something like that by injection?
In America, half of the population believe in at least one conspiracy theory, which is not surprising given that their president has promoted all of them.
Our president has finally released a birth certificate.
Trump using his massive Twitter platform, 63 million followers, to spread a deranged conspiracy theory, tying the death of pedophile Jeffrey Epstein in prison to the president's former political rivals, the Clintons.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know who, but I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people say yes.
But we have no right to be smug because conspiracy theories have gone through the roof here too, with almost half the country believing that coronavirus is a man-made creation, 8% believing that 5G technology is spreading the virus, and almost 1 in 5 people believing anti-vaccination conspiracy theories that are constantly being debunked by scientists and journalists. A recent YouGov poll showed that less than half the British population trusted the BBC to tell them the truth. The power and the danger of conspiracy theories is that they cannot be destroyed by conventional facts and reasoning. Any attempt by experts to debunk them only increases their power.
So the 5G story is complete and utter rubbish. It's nonsense. Those are also the phone networks that are used by our emergency services and our health workers.
Oh, well, the mainstream media would say that, wouldn't they? So perhaps the only way to prove conspiracy theories wrong is to try to prove them right. I begin with the most hilarious conspiracy theory of all, that 5G causes coronavirus. Not to mention the amazing download speeds. It doesn't take an expert to come to this conclusion, which is probably why no experts have. There are exceptions, of course, such as free-thinking academics like Lee Ryan, Callum Best, David Icke.
If 5G continues and reaches where they want to take it, human life as we'd known it is over.
Their research was peer-reviewed and supported by, among others, Amanda Holden and rapper/epidemiologist MIA, who tweeted out her findings. I don't think 5G gives you COVID-19. I think it can confuse or slow down body in healing process as body is learning to cope with new signals, wavelength frequency, etc. To unpack some of that technical jargon, what MIA is essentially saying is that 5G is really bad vibes. Even Amir Khan has enough brain cells in his head to work out what's going on, and he's been repeatedly punched in his head for over 20 years.
Do you think all this coronavirus stuff that's going around, is it to do with the 5G?
And then whistleblower Eamon Holmes was brutally silenced.
What I don't accept is mainstream media immediately slapping that down as not true. But for the avoidance of any doubt, I want to make it clear, no scientific evidence to substantiate any of those 5G theories. Unlike Eamon Holmes, Lee Ryan refused to apologise and retract his claim that 5G caused coronavirus. So I paid him 50 quid on Cameo to say sorry instead.
This is by Hayden Prowse. Sorry, should have left it to the experts. Really sorry.
Contrary to popular belief, a blue tick and a few 100,000 followers does not automatically qualify you to give expert medical advice. But if we can't trust celebrities, who can we trust? Well, random videos that get spread around WhatsApp, OVs.
Look at the green bushes, yeah. Very nice. Look at the left hand side. Dead. Do you know why? Because that's right next to it.
These 5G transmitters are lethal.
What other possible explanation could there be for why this tree has died and not this bush, other than the one offered to us by this trustworthy Geordie man, who turns out to be Mark Steele, one of the leading authorities on the danger of 5G, which he says isn't a mobile phone network at all, but rather a direct energy weapon deployed on an unwitting population to zap us all to death.
I can show that 400 people have been murdered. If anybody thinks that this is going to kill 6 million, think again. This is going to kill billions.
Mark is a self-described expert on weapon systems.
I'm a weapons systems head-up display expert, one of the leading experts in the world.
A specialism he must have picked up from his years in the field, working as a bouncer in Newcastle. A quick Google shows up claims that Mark was convicted in the 90s and went to prison for shooting a teenage girl. But who trusts Google anymore? Real freedom fighters ask Jeeves. But it's not just Geordie bouncers that have lent their academic weight to this theory. It's also spiritual LA types.
Many people are asking me about 5G and vaccinations, forced vaccinations, Bill Gates.
And even local councils. People even took to burning down 5G masts.
The UK has reported around 50 fires targeting towers and other 5G equipment.
Apparently, during the Black Death, fake news went around that cats were spreading the plague, whereupon everyone rushed out to slaughter all the cats, causing an explosion in the rat population, thus exacerbating the spread of the pandemic. Given that mobile phone masts are just the kind of key national infrastructure that are kind of important for ambulances and other medical services during a pandemic, it seems like we might have made worryingly little progress since the Middle Ages. So I decided to do my own investigations into 5G. I was completely unable to find any evidence from any reliable sources, which only confirmed my suspicions that sinister forces were covering things up. Given that the truth had clearly been suppressed, it seemed reasonable to create some new truth of my own to replace it. I put some silver children's art stickers saying COVID-19 on an old TV top box circuit board and brought a microwave lasagna with me to show just how dangerous 5G is. I cunningly disguised my identity with a mask and an awful Scouse accent.
I've been working erecting 5G masts on towers like the one behind me for the past few weeks while everybody else has been in lockdown. And we don't crack open these kits because we're explicitly asked not to. But perhaps the best thing is for me to show you. There's a piece of 5G kit and it says COVID-19 on it. Why the are they putting circuitry like that in towers like that? I just don't understand. So if any of you were in any doubt about the radiation and its harmful effects emitted from these 5G towers, I just stopped for my lunch and I bought a Sainsbury's Taste the Difference lasagna. Look at this. It's cooked right through. It's even hot right in the middle. This is Battlefield technology, specifically designed to target and cook enemy lasagnas from kilometres away. It's incredibly convenient for your lunch, except I can't really taste anything because of the COVID.
After I posted my clip online, I began to see it resurfacing a few days later on all the Twitter feeds of all the top truth seekers, from Mark Steele to David Icke. Soon my videos had spread all across the internet, accumulating almost 1 million views, as conspiracy theorists downloaded and edited the footage, conveniently ignoring the lasagna, and spread it across Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and multiple conspiracy sites. Furious debate raged around the conspiracy theory community about whether it was faked or not, with some people spotting that I'd used a TV top box and that my helmet was rather suspiciously shiny. I'd done what the mainstream media is apparently unable to do: make conspiracy theorists doubt their dubious alternative sources of information by vaccinating them with a weaker strain of the fake news virus. Because I guarantee that none of those conspiracy theorists listened when the clip was debunked by Reuters and Associated Press and ABC News in Australia.
A piece of 5G kit and it says COVID-19 on it. Why the putting circuitry like that in towers like that?
The truth is, they're not. The circuitry isn't from a 5G tower, it's from an old Virgin Media box.
Well, mainstream media would say that, wouldn't they? But some people, particularly the alt-right conspiracy sites, insisted on believing it, despite the bizarre claim that 5G towers were designed to cook Sainsbury's Taste the Difference lasagnas, proving that maybe satire isn't quite dead yet. Suddenly my comedy was more popular than ever. I had found an audience for my comedy among crazy alt-right Trump supporters who thought it was for real, including Jeremy Stone, whose Twitter handle Deep State Exposed has 340,000 followers and he's been retweeted by Trump over 10 times. The videos were also shared all over the place on BitChute, the platform that bravely hosted the incredibly creative conspiracy theories of Alex Jones and InfoWars, when his YouTube and Facebook were taken down for spreading fake news. Too much truth.
Hillary's into like creepy creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She is a demon.
Alex Jones, nice guy.
It wasn't long before my videos were being taken down too. The holy grail for any conspiracy theorist. I mean, if your films aren't being censored, then you're not really getting close to the truth. Unlike this loser who put up his video ages ago and it still hasn't been taken down. But while my video has been removed from many Facebook and YouTube pages, it remained all over the place on Twitter. The favoured platform for the conspiracy theorist in chief, Donald Trump, who by some estimates lies on average around 23.8 times a day. But in an astonishing turn of events, Twitter has, for the first time, fact-checked and even hidden Donald Trump's tweets for promoting a bullshit conspiracy theory and for encouraging racially motivated violence by quoting a racist Miami police officer from the 1960s. When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the hole!
And about time, given that Twitter has spent the last 4 years making billions from Trump's racist, misleading and inflammatory tweets that have been one of the main causes of the civil war that is currently tearing America apart.
He's got a bow and arrow, man!
It turns out that conspiracy theory and racism are quite intimate bedfellows. The same free speech platforms such as BitChute that tolerate the bonkers conspiracy theories of Alex Jones also tolerate the most vile anti-Semitism and white supremacist racism you can possibly imagine. Share this video if you know anyone that has ever subscribed to any conspiracy theories, and maybe we can vaccinate them of the virus